Hello and welcome to the kitchen. Today we are going to look at our 5 Krull-Smiths that we got back in February of 2024. So it's been about 2 months since we've got them, but they all are putting out new growth, roots, that kind of thing, and most of them are growing on the edge of the pot, and I'd like to get them into the center. Now I did grab 5 of these, and this is a 3-inch pot, and these are the nice squishy ones I like. And then I also grabbed some 4-inch pots of the solid. I have 5 orchids. There's 5 pots. Just in case when I get them out, let's just say the roots won't fit in here, or once I put it in, as far as growth wise, we can put them in here. I have the media over there. I did need to grab, give me 1 second here, grab some of this large bark here to put at the bottom because I am running really low on the medium bark, just in case we use the bigger one. So I'm just going to set that in there, have it off to the side, move that out the way. All right, let's just diggeth inneth. So these, I know who sent them to me. I'm going to call them anonymous. I just want to say thank you again. And these were sent to me for reaching 1,000 subscribers. So if you end up enjoying this and want to help me build the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you end up enjoying it, go ahead and hit the like as well. We are going to start off with What About Love? Every time I read that, I think of Tina Turner's song, What Does Love Have to Do with It? Now, I might end up using some of the media as well, because it is still nice and firm. So I may end up recycling some of this. Just have to wait and see if I need it. Now, let's see. There's a plug. Of course there is. All right, let me get this one, and I'm going to put the moss in a separate container. All right, let me get most of the bark off first, and then once I get the moss off, we'll get a good look at what they are looking like. So the roots are actually still fairly firm, because I have let this dry out. Like once I see, ooh, I have a root tip right there. There we go. Once I feel that they've dried out, I did leave them for another few days because I figured they would have the moss plug in there being seedlings. So we got root tips branching on this one. Look at there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but look at the root tips growing. You see them? Beautiful. All right, now let's see if we can get most of the moss off of here because I don't want to put them back in moss. It's in there pretty compacted. As we expected, these were seedlings. Obviously, they're tiny. Now, I did research most of them, and according to what I've read, all of them should, keyword here is, should be kind of medium size. 1 or 2 of them are going to be compact orchids, so they should not take up too much space as they grow, but one never knows. And then we've got all these lovely root tips right here that I need to be super, super careful with. Anyone else in the repotting now that it is spring and things are coming into life? Let me know what you are working on. And if you do have something to repot or just some plant chores to do, whether they're orchid chores or regular houseplant chores, let me know what you're working on. I'm not going to be too crazy with trying to get all this off because all of these roots are actually pretty good. I'm not going to take that bark off of there because we have that lovely, lovely tip trying to grow right there, and I don't want to risk taking it off. But I am going to take off as much sheathen as possible because with our recent visitors, I don't want to give them an opportunity to hide in any of those. I'm just going to take that one off. That's an old growth. I think that is all we're going to do to What About Love? What About Love? Oh, didn't Heart, for those of you who are a little bit older, didn't Heart have a song that had that in there? 80s group. Used to love them. Used to love them. I say I'm going to leave it alone as I'm sitting here picking on it more. I just want to make sure to get as much sheathing off as possible. I'm sure you already know this, but just in case you don't, once you get your orchid out to repot, that is the perfect time to get most of your sheathing off because you can really get into the orchid without damaging it too much. And let's see, I think I got all of it. And then I do have my alcohol and my little brush just in case I see anything during the unpotting. Oh, I see something else. Not only do we have new roots coming, but right here next to my pinky, there is a new growth. Can you see that? Perfect. So not only are we going to get new roots, we are getting a new growth. And like I said, all of these roots are fairly firm. They look a little tired, but you know what? They'll sustain her until she reestablishes a new root system. All right. Now, do we put her in here? And let's see if we do. And where's that? That new growth is right there. Kind of center her. What do you guys think? That one? Or probably this one, and the roots won't be so crunchy, and then I can also get her in the center. All right, so that's what we'll do with her, and we'll pot everybody together. We'll unpot everybody, and then we'll put them in their respective pots once we're done looking at them all. Now they have been soaking in a CalMag seaweed spa here for the last probably 30-45 minutes. So hopefully that will help set them up for success as well. And then this one is the RTH Pure Love right here. And I got these on the 22nd of February 2024. And then this one is the one that has the new growth. And I believe she's got new roots, but let's just take her out and look. Let me be careful where that new growth is. And again, we have moss plugs. Let's see, the sun's glaring in my eye right there. Let's take that. All right, so this one, actually we'll get the, because I don't want any moss in with the bark. This one's roots aren't quite as good as the other ones. There's quite the desiccation on this one. All right, yeah, we got, look at that. That whole thing was just stuck in there. And I'm saving bark. Well, I usually try to reuse bark anyway, whether I use it in another orchid or as a topping for the house plants. I think what we'll do with this one, because all of this back here, I think I'm just gonna cut this part off because her new growth is right here. And I think I'm just going to cut this back section off because it's kind of loose anyway. And then that'll give her more space to grow. So let me just find that, because it's a natural separation right there. And noise clean rhizome. So no issues on that end. All right, let's see what else do we have here. And then we've got this little small growth down here that we will also just take off. All right, now she looks like she is a climber, and this is the one I said I would probably put on a mount, but I'm just going to give her time to grow a little bit bigger and then we'll decide. But she does have also new root growth coming. Let me see if I can get that in focus for you. There it is. So she has new roots coming off of her new growth. Let me check those. Yeah, this one does have some roots that need to come off, but those roots are also, right next to the new root that's trying to come in. So how are we going to do that? Let's see if I can snap it off. No. We're going to have to get the little fiskars in there, but I'm not going to get right up to the base. I'm just going to cut the bulk of it off and leave the rest because I don't want to damage those beautiful new roots that are coming in. Next weekend, the weekend of the 10th, my husband is going to be graduating from le college. And for some of you, you're like, oh my God, he's so old. Why is he graduating now? Well, he actually started college back when we first got married. And then between military duties, and this was before the internet, by the way, so most of it was done correspondence, because most of our time in the beginning of his career in our marriage, we were overseas. So he had to do a lot of it via correspondence. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's where they send you the books in the mail, you do the work, and you send it back in the mail. And then you wait for a few months, especially if you're overseas, and then they send you your grade. And it took a lot longer than now, where you can just jump on the internet, sign up for a class, and get going. Well, he has started and stopped working on the degree for quite a few years. And then when he retired, he was trying to go to school and get him a little part-time job just to have something to do. And then decided that he was just going to be a full-time student, focus on, excuse me, getting that degree. And this Friday, he will be getting his degree in criminal justice with a minor in sociology. I am so very proud of him. Okay, so we actually, looks like there might, let's see, no, yeah. Looks like there's 2 little seedlings in here. If you look, there's another new growth right there, and that leaf, I'm trying to gently, there we go. Okay, so we do have 2. Perfect. So what we'll do is we'll just put them back to back so that this new growth will grow on this side and this new growth will grow on this side, and boom, we have a full orchid. All right, after cleaning up the roots, let me just put that there real quick. This one here, and it is a branching root system, as was the other one, the What About Love. So I said all that to say that the videos might not be up next weekend because he graduates on Friday. We're having a graduation party on Saturday. Sunday is Mother's Day here in the United States, and we're going to all go to brunch, and by all I mean my sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, the mothers in the family. We're all going to go to brunch, and from there we're going to go to the botanical gardens here in Denver. And then Tuesday of next week, the 14th, it's our 30th wedding anniversary, so got a lot going on in the next few days. This one is definitely going to go into here. Well, these 2 are definitely going to go into there just because root system is a little lacking. Not the best. Let's put that one right there. And nope, you know what? I'm going to do this so I don't save it. You know, guys, you know me. I'm always trying to save stuff. And then I end up, I'm overwhelmed. All right, let me get a little sip of coffee. I feel a cough coming on. All right, now what are we gonna look at next? Let me get all this bark out of here. Anybody got any new orchids this season? Let me know. I did get that wonderful gift from Sherry down, the Sherry baby. So far this looks like they've used large, medium bark, some leca rock, I guess for aeration, and there's a couple little rocks in there. Excuse me. Let's do this other one right here. So this one is the RLC Marks Valentine. Just show you the tag while I let it drain. There we go. Marks of Valentine. Oh, feel like there's a lot of moss in this one too. And some of these roots are not looking too spiffy. Yep, there it is. All right. And actually, let me throw these in the sink because I will be washing them once we are done. All right, let's get the bark off first. And no worries about saving that root because that root is a goner, so I can just kind of take that off. And let's see, it does look like we have a new growth perhaps coming here. I don't see, oh yeah, we have some roots too. Okay, let's just hope they're not all dead sitting in that moss. And the other one didn't have that many sheaths for me to worry about. All right, let's take the moss off and then let's take a good look at the roots. Let's see if we can. That actually has grown into, so that root has grown into the bark. So we're just going to leave that there, as this one is a good one as well. So let's see if we can unwrap some of this moss off of here. I repotted my philodendron ring of fire to a larger pot. It was in a 4-inch pot, and I moved it up to I believe it was a 6-inch. And it had like this netting, looked like pantyhose. For those of you who know what pantyhose are, it looked like somebody took some pantyhose and just wrapped around it. And the roots that were in there were just like, it couldn't grow through it. Now, if it was in there to help, you know, keep the roots healthy or whatever, and that'd have been fine. I've never seen that on an orchid. I have seen like nets and stuff, but never like pantyhose. All right, this moss again is in here pretty compacted, and I think I may take some of this seedling growth off of the back here. once I can get a better look here. Really good roots though, and I think most of it is from this back section. Ugh. So I don't know, because we have this little baby growth here, which is kind of loose. Little baby growth there. Oh, wait a minute. That is a new growth right there. Okay, so maybe we won't. I'm thinking maybe just this little itty bitty one down here. We'll just take it off. Again, I'm thinking this might be... Okay, we're going to stop messing with it. I'm going to stop messing with it. I'm just going to put it back the way it is. Yeah, we're just going to put it back in there. We're going to put it back in. I was going to take like this section off here, but this new growth... Well, if I can move it. This new growth right here is coming off of this little bunch here, and I don't want to take the chance of breaking that because we also have another new growth on this side that's further along. It was the one it came with, and I want to see if I can take some of the sheathing off before I get her. Nope, it's not ready. It looks ready, but it's not ready, but I feel a bump under here, so I'm thinking we might get another new growth off of there. So let me just clean her up really quickly. Yeah, all right, so that one right there. And I need to get a new pair of fiskars. My fiskars, they come up apart in the hinge section. I hate using them now because it always wants to come apart while I'm trying to use them and not go where I need them to go. So I'm using my bonsai ones. I don't have any bonsai. I just like these scissors, or these clippers actually, because they have that nice spring to them. You know, I enjoy looking at other people's bonsai, but it's just not something I think I could do. I don't have the, I'm not going to say patience. I think I'd have the patience for it. Desire. That's the word I'm looking for. I just don't have a desire. But you know what? We're just going to leave that. No, we're not. I say we are. And then change my mind. There we go. All right, so that is that one. And I'm pretty sure this one needs to go in here because it has two directions of growth. So we're going to end up with two root systems. And this one's pretty decent. Because if we use this one here, she's going to end up needing to be repotted in like probably a month or so. So we're going to put Mark's Valentine in there. Two more. This one is the RTH Volcano Prince. And squeeze. I see a new growth already on this one. And then two new growths. Sweet. So she's going to have two directions of growth as well. Keep my little... Okay. Oh, wow. Beautiful root tips. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at that root. Look at those. Do you see those gorgeous root tips right there? Oh my goodness. So excited. Got to be extra careful now. Taking this bark and this moss off. All right, definitely going to go in a big one unless I have to cut a lot of these roots, which doesn't look like I am. Two directions of growth. And again, we're going to have quite the roots are coming. And the thing is, it doesn't smell bad, so that's actually pretty good. So the media can still be reused. Just make sure I don't drop anything that's desiccated in here, because like I said, I'm probably going to reuse most of this just to kind of conserve on what I already have here. I do need to place another order with Ken. I need some small and medium Orchiata bark, and I will be needing pots. I am running low on pots, although I did get a lot of pots to recycle. Well, that's the 5 larger ones are recycled from the orchids I had to let go during mealybug war. And there are still a few battles. I know you guys are tired of hearing me talk about these mealybugs, but guys, I've never had an issue with mealybugs until this last go around. I mean, I've had like 1 or 2, you know. I've had maybe 1 orchid that had some issues, but I've never had it where I had to go through my entire collection and kind of just be on the lookout. I have bad eyesight, so I wear glasses, obviously, and thus it's kind of hard for me to see, so I would have to get like in the sun and like especially the lighter leafed ones like this. They don't show up quite as clearly as they do on the darker leaved orchids. And then of course I had to time it so that I did my thicker, harder leafed orchids during the day so I could wipe under the stomata when they were closed, and then the lighter leafed ones, the thinner leafed orchids. I had to do those at night when their stomatas were closed. It was just a mess, a mess. Let me see if I can untangle some of this so I can get all of this moss. And there are quite the desiccated roots in here. However, there are quite the nice ones too, as you can see here. Look at these. Wowzers. That is gorgeous. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to go in a big one, girl, from the roots alone. And I could have done this off camera, but I feel like if I had, I'd be rushing through, especially like this part, and then broken quite the roots and gotten really upset with myself. So whenever I do this while I'm filming, it kind of helps me stay focused on the fact that I need to be a little more careful on what I'm doing. And I know you guys aren't really here, but in my mind you are. I feel like I'm just sitting with some friends going through our orchids. Like I said, I hope you guys are working on something as well. I know sometimes when I'm doing my watering and, excuse me, and some repots that just need to be done, can't wait type things, I'll turn on a video and I'll just listen to it in the background. Oh, sorry, did not mean to kick the tripod there. Or I'll set it up here on the window while I'm watering and watch. Kind of helps motivate me to do what I need to do as well. This is not fun. I would have definitely done damage to this one because we have that lovely, well, maybe if I can get it in there. See that new growth right there by my thumb. Look at that. I didn't notice that one. This one, I knew about this one right here off the latest growth. I did not notice that new one on that side until I took her out of a Le Porte. But I need to see if I can get some of these older roots off of here. Maybe then I can get to the moss. There we go. Let's see. We have another one right here. Maybe that one, yep, that one will just pop right on off. I understand the concept of the plugs, and I understand nurseries don't have the time. Does anyone else get agitated when it's like this? And it's all the nurseries. It's not just one. All the nurseries use this, and I get it. I get it. You guys are trying to make money. Get them in, get them out. Wouldn't it be nice if a nursery took the time when they went to up pot a seedling to take some of the moss off maybe? I mean, maybe not all of it, but some of it. You already have it out of the pot. Would it hurt to take a little bit of the moss off? Rhetorical questions. I ask questions that no one has an answer to. Ooh, what was that with my voice? Okay, I think that is all I'm gonna do because I'm afraid if I keep messing. All right, now I'm gonna get the rest of the sheathing off if I can do it. Let me wet it a little bit. Sometimes if you use a wet finger or like a wet glove, you can kind of get the sheath to loosen a little bit when it's hardened like that. Don't think this one is going to work that way. All right, we'll leave it alone before I mess things up again. All right, so here's our root system. And like I said, she's got several, let me turn it this way, several new root tips branching off of the older roots. And is that a root? Yep, I need to trim that piece right there. I thought that was not bark, but moss. I just want to make sure to get all of the desiccated roots off so that I'm not putting those in. And then, like I said, we've got the new growth here and then the new growth in here. Yep, so she will definitely go in the big pot. So that is the Volcano Prince. And last but not least, wait till y'all see this gorgeous root tip, is the CTT Jupiter Drops. Before I take it out, look at that gorgeous root tip. Can you see it? Let's see. Oh, I'm dripping everywhere. Let's see if I can do it this way. Look at that gorgeous root. Oh my goodness. And I made sure when I put the water in here not to pour on top of that. Because sometimes if you kind of, I don't know, in my experience and in my thought processes, I don't like to pour anything on top of root tips unless it's just plain water, for fear that it might be a little too much for it to handle. So now I need to be very careful because we do have root tips right there. We've got the one I just showed you, and then we've got two over here on this side. And looks like this one doesn't have quite the developed root system, so what it's getting is going to be replacing what it's lost. For those of you who are in the United States that are going to be celebrating Mother's Day, what are your plans? Already told you we were going to the botanical gardens. I missed the orchid display this year. For some reason, in my mind, they had one in the spring, like this time of the year around Mother's Day, but apparently I am wrong. All right, so let's take the moss out here. Gotta be very careful. Oh, we've got root tips everywhere here, guys. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that or not, but look at all the root tips coming out of the moss too. All right, so I feel like on this one there is going to be some collateral damage not intended. But let's take off the sheaths that we can get to first. I will, because this leaf right here is not serving a purpose of any kind. Oh, so there's the new growth on that one. I don't know, can you see that? There it is. Nice new growth there, and then it also has a growth on this side that it's finishing that has the potential of a new growth coming up on that side as well. And I do see, yep, there it is. Let me move this down a little bit. Do you see it? Do you see the new growth there? So we've got two directions of growth on this one. I will probably have to fast forward over this part because this might take a few minutes. Of course, they've all taken a few minutes, so depending on how long this video is, I might just fast forward over me cleaning the roots. But I myself, when I'm watching repot videos, I kind of enjoy seeing the progress of the roots getting all shiny and new. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can do this without too much collateral. Any old roots, that's where they're going to be, is in the center by the old growth. And then we have less chance. I say that just as nope, that was already done. No, that one was already kind of kinked anyway, so we're just going to clip that one because it does look like it might be a branching root system. I can't really tell too much right now. Oh, it is. Okay, so see, there's a branch right there. So it is a branching root system, but I am going to cut that off because it is kind of dying on the side there. Oh my goodness, these roots are not going to know what to do with all the air they're about to receive and go crazy. Of course, this does mean I will have to water a little more frequently for the next few weeks so that they can kind of reestablish themselves. Okay, so here's what we have. I still have a little bit of moss left up in there, but I do not want to damage her anymore. So we do have that new growth right here that I need to take that sheathing off of. And then, of course, we've got this one that's a little farther along. And then I was looking, I thought maybe I saw another new growth, but it was not. So we've got two directions of growth. Make this the front of the plant, I think. All right, well, we're going to put her in a big one as well. Where's my tag? There's my tag. Look at me keeping up with my tags. All right, so that's the juniper drops. Which one? Let's just do the little one first, since it is the little one. And, oh, that's the one that has the two. Okay, so we need to put them like so, kind of set them where they're kind of even, so that both of these new growths kind of grow together. So we're going to do them about like that. Put a little bit of some bark at the bottom. And I can't find my little small spoon that I use for my mycorrhizal fungi, so I got to use this one and be a little more careful. All right, and then I do want to center them because you just never know once you mess with them. And we did take a couple of pieces off. You might kick out another growth in the back, and if we find actually that is going to be too big for it right now, so I'm just going to use the small medium Orchiata bark that I have left, and it has some perlite and a little bit of charcoal in there as well. Let's do that, and I'm holding it so that they stay kind of on the same level. All right, so this one is the Pure Love, and I will put today's date on there, and then I'm gonna finish potting the rest of them up. If I run into some issue or I see something else, I'll stop and show you, but other than that, I'll be right back with large pieces of the perlite, because it will dry out faster, or usually dries out slower, sorry, than the top, so that this way the bottom doesn't stay wet as long. And then the top portion here was the medium and small Orchiata bark. Same thing with this one. And both of these, no, this one I didn't have to stake. She's pretty stable, but this one I did stake just because she was a little wobbly. So I just kind of put this stake in front of the newer growth there. But these three, so what about Love? I might stake her, but I think she's fine. I did leave the roots right here that are coming in on top of the media. I didn't cover them with bark because that's how they were sitting in the nursery pot. This one here, I do have, this is the one with the 2 pieces in it, so it does have both directions of new growth in the front. And I did stake this one just a little bit because the second piece was not that stable and kept wanting to fall over. And then the Mark's Valentine, again, I put just a little stake in there just to kind of keep it steady until it kind of roots itself back in. So I won't water these until probably tomorrow or Monday. It is Saturday. I'm doing this right after I did the Saturday stroll. I was kind of in the mode. I was like, oh yeah, when I mentioned they needed to be done. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Let me do those while I'm in the right headspace, because I really felt like doing it. And that's the best time to do anything, is when you know you're in the mood. But they all have mycorrhizal fungi in them. They all have fertilizer. And I did remember to date all of them for today. Let me know your predictions on our lovely ladies here. And if you have any of these and have some carry tips, leave those down below as well. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next time.